Hi, my name is Marcus. I'm with Recon Power Bikes, and today we're going to shoot this video to talk about what to do when your chain breaks while riding. Chains can break for a couple different reasons. The two most popular reasons that we see chains breaking, one is negligence of keeping the chain clean and also properly lubricated. Now, this is something you want to do on your regular maintenance, so take note of that. The other key factor on what can cause a chain to break is you see this chain is actually what we like to call as cross-chained. Now, what happens is when you start in gear 9 and you realize it's too difficult, we try to utilize our pedal assist and shift at the same time. This puts way too much side load pressure on the chain, and you might see this chain snap while riding. All right, one example that I want to show you, this is probably the most popular mistake most of our riders make while riding our bike. So you're in gear 9, you're on pedal assist 5, and we want to get going at a quick rate. However, this is something you want to avoid because what can happen is this is where the cross chaining will come in. So I'm going to take off, I'm going to try to shift back down to 1, and we'll take a look and see what happens. In that video, that was a great example of what can happen when at a dead stop in a higher pedal assist setting, which can be anywhere from pedal assist 2 through 5. And what you saw was we put too much torque on that chain while in a high gear. So we highly recommend when being at a dead stop, and if you are in pedal assist, that you actually take off in gears 1 through 3. And if at any point you're in gears 4 and 5, do know you've really run the chance of breaking that chain. And what can happen is you're going to be stranded unless you have the right tools to get that chain back on. For any ride, it'd be a great idea to actually carry these particular tools with you. First, you have a quick link plier set. You also have a chain breaker tool. And then last but not least, you're going to have a master link. So the master link is responsible for putting the chains back together. And if a chain does break, chances are there's going to be a twist of the link, and that's where utilizing this chain breaker tool will be very important. So this is one thing I wanted to show. This is a prime example of a twisted chain link. You can see that the other chains are nice and in line. However, that one right in the center is totally twisted. So the next thing that I'm going to show you to do is how to remove that twisted link and then mate the other two sides together. Another good angle when your chain gets twisted is what you can see here. So we want to make sure before that you take note that if you try to take off this chain, this is not going to work. So we need to take the chain off of the bike. So sometimes when the chain does break and you're riding, it can completely fall off. Well, in this case, it didn't. So we'll have to take note. There's going to be a master link, and I'm going to show you where that's at, and then we're going to use the quick link pliers in order to pop that master link and take the chain off correctly. All right, so before we actually remove the chain off of the bicycle, be sure that the chain is in gear 9. And the next thing is you're going to take your quick link pliers, and we're going to put it around the master link. You're going to squeeze it together, and that will pop the master link free. And that's actually going to pop the chain. Next, what you can do is put the bike forward on the kickstand. You can pedal forward, and that will release the chain. And you can go ahead and pull it right out. Now that the chain is off, it's a great time to inspect the chain to see if there's any further damages. So you can see that there's a twist in the chain here. Then there's also another twist here. But it's very important to go through the whole entire chain just to ensure that there's no further damage. So everything looks good to that point. So let's go back to those twisted chain links. There are two different chain links that can actually twist and have an issue. One is an internal, and you can see this here. See how the inside is twisted? The other one is going to be an external. You can see how that is. Either way, in this case, you're going to have to pop these chain links with the chain breaker tool and actually take 2 master links and mate these chains together. So in this chain, the first one we're going to fix is the interlink twist. So what we need to find is actually another inner link. So what you see here, this is an inner link, that is an outer link. So take your chain breaker tool, put it on, and then find the pin, and we're going to pop that pin out of place. Now once you do that, slowly back it out. Now you should see that your chain is broken. Now that we're to a point where the good part of the chain that we broke off from the bad link is here and in your hands, we want to set that aside. Just be careful when you set it down that you don't lose your inner links, because what can happen if you don't have that, your chain's not going to mate successfully. Now, what we need to do is remove the rest of the twisted link. So you'll find your closest inner link. Once you find that, which is here, you'll take your chain breaker tool and you'll repeat the same step of breaking that off. Push the pin out. Slowly back away. And you're going to see part of the chain, which is the bad part, will come off. That's when you will not need anymore. Now that we've broken the first part of the bad chain, we're going to move on to the second one. You see the other twist here? We're going to take our chain breaker tool. We're going to put that part on. We're going to push that pin again. And pop through, back it out, and remove the good part of the chain. Set that aside as well. You're going to repeat that step again to remove the outer link completely. Go ahead and put it in the breaker. Nice to put a little tension with your thumb on there. Pop that pin. Once that pin is out, back out the chain breaker, and the twisted outer link will fall off. Now that we've taken the twisted links out of the chain, it's time to put it back together. So what we're going to use is our master links and our quick link pliers. You'll take one end of the chain, put the master link in, repeat that step on the other chain. We're going to put them together. Take your quick link pliers, put it in, and then go ahead and push it out. That's going to lock that chain together. So now the two pieces are conjoined as one. Now that the first master link is installed, let's go ahead and install the second one. Repeat the steps again. Insert that master link on one side. Go ahead and insert on the other. Grab your two chains. Put them together. Grab your pliers. Insert it into the two chains. Now the chain is totally fastened. Now that the chain is together, let's go ahead and reinstall it. So you take your chain, set it onto the chain ring, and go ahead and pedal forward. Do that slowly so the chain doesn't fall off of the chain ring. Then give yourself enough slack at the bottom so when we feed the other part of the chain into the rear cassette, it doesn't completely come back towards us. Let's move on to the back part of the bicycle. Like I mentioned, you're going to feed the chain onto your cassette. This is gear 9. Go ahead and pull that back. Push your derailleur down. Feed that chain onto the pulley. And go ahead and put it on the back side of the bottom pulley and pull it through. Now that we've fed the chain through both ends on the chain ring as well as in the rear cassette and derailleur, let's mate the chain together. You're going to take your last master link, you're going to put it in, you'll grab the other side, put the master link in, we're going to put them together. You'll take your quick link pliers and pop it in place. Now that your chain is installed, this will get you back to your destination. However, when you do get back, it's very important to replace this chain with a brand new one. Recommend taking it to a local bike shop and or have a qualified technician take a look at it to install a new one. If you have any other questions in regards to replacing a broken chain while riding, give us a call and or email us at info@reconpowerbikes.com.